Hey everyone, welcome back. So for today's deep dive, we're going way back. We're diving into a collection of cameras that, well, they didn't just capture history, they actually helped shape it.
Some real game changers, that's for sure.
Exactly. We're talking about TLRs, those twin lens marvels, and then those surprisingly portable Kodak Autographics, really something for that era. And of course, no photo journey would be complete without the legendary Nikon F series. Should be a fascinating look at how these cameras change the way we see and capture the world.
Absolutely. And each of these cameras, they each brought something unique to the table, their own innovations that really pushed photography forward.
Okay, so let's rewind the clock a bit, shall we? Let's go back to, say, the mid-20th century. That's when those TLRs, those twin lens reflex cameras, they were at the top of their game.
The TLRs, yeah.
Now, for those who haven't experienced the joy of using one, imagine this, okay? You're peering down into this viewfinder and you're composing your shot on one lens. But here's the cool part. There's a second lens right there, perfectly in sync with the first one. And that one's the one capturing the image on a big, beautiful, high-quality negative.
And those large negatives you see, that was huge,
Yeah.
literally.
Yeah.
A larger negative means you get more detail, richer tones, just a higher quality image all around, especially when you went to enlarge it. And this was a time when printed photos, they weren't just, tossed aside. They were treasures, often framed, passed down through generations. So that quality, it made a real difference.
They were more like works of art, those photos. Okay, so we can't talk about TLRs without bringing up the Yashica mat, right? So popular back in the 50s and 60s, and this camera had a feature that, for its time, was revolutionary. A built-in light meter.
That was a game changer. Think about it. Before built-in meters, you had to use handheld ones or even just guess the exposure. But with the Yashica mat, photographers, especially those just starting out with medium format, could be confident, get accurate exposures no matter the lighting.
It really opened up photography, made it less intimidating. But what about those on a budget? Aspiring photographers who couldn't shell out for the top-of-the-line models? Well, that's where the Rolleicord came in. Still a TLR, but more affordable than its cousin, the Rolleiflex. But here's the thing. It didn't skimp on image quality.
Not one bit. The Rolleicord proved you didn't need to empty your wallet to create amazing images. Really popular in the 40s and 50s, capturing everything. Family portraits, street scenes, you name it.
And then you've got the Ricoflex. This one really brought medium format photography to, well, everyone. Everyday people could finally experience the magic of those large format photos and without needing a small loan to do it.
The Ricoflex, along with some other great TLRs, like the Airsflex, known for those sharp optics, the Walsflex, another budget-friendly option, and the Firstflex, so wonderfully simple they all played a part. Suddenly, everyone was taking TLR photos. These cameras weren't tucked away in some studio. They were everywhere, capturing life's moments in all their detail.
It's amazing to think, about how those TLRs brought such high-quality photography to so many people. But even before those, there was another camera already shaking things up, changing the game, the Kodak Autographic.
The Autographics. Now, those were something else. Ahead of their time, really. Imagine a camera that folds.
Folds, really. And it took decent photos.
It did. And not just any old folding camera. This one, it could produce some really good quality for its size. Surprising, actually.
It's wild to think they were doing that back then, early 1900s. How'd they pull that off? What made them so special, these Autographics?
Well, it was all in the design. They used these folding bellows. Kind of like an accordion, actually. Let the lens collapse right back into the body of the camera. Made it so compact, so portable. Nothing like the big clunky cameras everyone was used to.
So no more studios, no more tripods. You could take it anywhere.
Precisely. The Autographics, they freed photography. No more constraints. People could capture life as it happened, travels, everything. Spontaneity.
Let's talk about some specifics, like that Kodak No 3A Autographic, 1914 right, postcard-sized prints. That's incredible for back then.
Game changer, that one. Think about it. Professional level quality, but available to everyone. It wasn't a luxury anymore. And then just a couple of years later, you get the Kodak No 2C Autographic Kodak Jr., even bigger prints with that one. And they were built to last, these cameras. So many family vacations, so many milestones captured, all thanks to these cameras.
They're like holding a piece of history, Each photo, a window into a different time. You can't help but wonder about the stories behind them.
Absolutely. And the stories, they'd be as varied as the cameras themselves. The Autographics, they came in all shapes and sizes. Take the number 1A, faster shutter speed on that one, meant sharper pictures even when things were moving. Perfect for capturing life on the go.
And then there's the pocket-sized one, the number 1, Pocket Kodak. Small enough to take anywhere, capture anything. Did they have a camera for everything?
Seems that way. There was the Vigilant 620, very stylish for the discerning photographer, and of course the A127 vest pocket camera, used by soldiers in World War I, a soldier's camera, gave everyone back home a glimpse of what it was really like.
It's incredible how these cameras, they really democratized photography, gave everyone a voice, a way to share their experiences from the everyday to, well, world events.
Exactly. And we can't forget about the Kodak Bantam, a miniature marvel, that one.
Yeah.
Introduced in the late 1930s. Used 8 and 28 film, smaller camera, but still decent quality. Kodak, they just kept pushing the boundaries.
From those pocket marvels, those autographics, we're shifting gears now. Moving into the world of, well, let's be honest, a camera system known for its ruggedness, its professional-grade capabilities. The Nikon F series.
Ah, the F series. Legendary for a reason. And you're right, it wasn't just about the cameras themselves. It was a whole system designed from the ground up to give photographers, especially pros, everything they needed, no matter the situation. Interchangeable lenses, viewfinders, flashes. You could adapt, modify, make it your own.
Sounds like it was all about pushing boundaries, creatively speaking. What kind of photography was it known for? The F series.
Oh, you name it, at the top level. Photojournalism, capturing those historic moments. Sports, freezing those athletes in motion. Situations where you needed, well, speed, reliability, a camera that wouldn't let you down. That was the F series.
So where did it all begin, this legacy?
1959, the Nikon F, their first SLR. SLR, that single lens reflex. You're seeing right through the lens for composing the shot. Big deal for accuracy back then. And this camera, it was built like a tank. Tough, durable, could handle anything you threw at it. The pros, they loved it.
Set a new standard, it sounds like.
Absolutely. The Nikon F, it really raised the bar for those 35mm SLRs. And Nikon, they kept pushing. Take the F2, for example, came out in '71. Even tougher than the first, faster shutter speeds, better handling. Because when you're a pro working under pressure, those things matter.
It's those little details, isn't it? Making the photographer's life easier. That's what counts.
Exactly. So the F2, it just solidified Nikon's place at the top. Then 1980 rolls around, you get the Nikon F3, sleek, all those electronic controls. Giorgetto Giugiaro, the designer, a real icon. That camera, with its features, its reliability, it became a favorite of photojournalists especially. They needed a camera that could keep up with them, no matter what.
It's like these cameras, they become more than just tools, don't they? Almost an extension of the photographer.
Absolutely. And Nikon, they seem to understand that. Always innovating. They released the F3 HP, which was specifically designed for photographers who wore glasses. Had a bigger, more comfortable viewfinder. Small detail, maybe, but it made a huge difference.
Shows you they were listening to the people using their cameras. Then, a big shift. 1988. The Nikon F4. Autofocus comes to the F series. Tell me about that.
Groundbreaking, the F4. It was Nikon quality, but with that cutting-edge autofocus. Now you can get those tack-sharp photos, even in tough conditions.
Yeah.
Action shots, low light, it changed everything.
And then the digital age dawned. How'd Nikon handle that?
They went all in. The Nikon D2X2, 2004, professional-grade DSLR, that's digital single-lens reflex, basically the digital descendant of those SLRs we were just talking about, high-resolution advanced autofocus. The action photographers, the wildlife photographers, they loved it. Detail speed, that was the D2X2.
So from those elegantly simple TLRs, with their beautiful large format images, to the autographics, those pocket-sized pioneers that took photography everywhere, to the Nikon F series, the workhorses of the professional world, it's clear each innovation, each camera, it played a role. They shaped photography as we know it.
And it's not just about the tech, right? It's about the impact. These cameras changed how we see the world, how we capture it, share it. Each photograph, it's a little piece of history, frozen in time.
Yeah.
A testament to, well, to us.
Absolutely. So next time you see a great photo, vintage or brand new, take a moment. Remember the cameras, the people who made them, because they didn't just capture history, they helped us create it.